Hello again. Today we are going to teach you how to get the most out of your Iridium with Midi. We're going to show you how to set it up, get the right Midi channels, and access all of those features that aren't easily accessible on the front panel of the pedal. Midi implementation on this pedal is hugely powerful, and I want to show you some of the highlights today. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is set up the Iridium to receive Midi. A lot of this stuff is kind of already done by default, but I want to show you anyways, just so you know what to do in case you run into issues. Let's go over to the Iridium. First thing we are going to do, unplug it, hold the favorite switch, plug it back in. You can see those red lights flashed, and what we now need to do is turn the level knob until it is blue. This changes the expression jack to receive digital. Here's level, and you can see here, if I move my hand out of the way, we've got all these colors, we want blue. Now we can press any button, and now we are set up for the digital pedal. We also now need to set a Midi channel. By default, Iridium is set up for channel 1, but if you have more than one Midi device, you're going to need to change some channels. So let's go over that really quickly now as well. Back to the pedal. We want to make sure there's no USB connected. Obviously, there's no USB connected here. If it is, it can mess with how Iridium receives messages while you're trying to set it up. This time, unplug power, both foot switches, power back in, and those red lights flashed again. Now we are going to adjust the Midi channel. We're now going to change the drive knob. Channel 1 by default is green, and as you turn the drive knob, those colors are going to change. We're going to set it today to channel 3, which is red. And we can see it was already set to channel 3. What a coincidence. It's almost like I've done this before in preparation for the video. Now we're going to press the on button, and our Midi channel is now set to 3. If we go to the RJM computer programmer, you can see that we are now on the main page. We want to set up this device. And so right now, by default, it is set up for the Mini Effects Gizmo. I'm going to go to Strymon, Iridium. We are not on channel 1. This needs to line up with the pedal. So now we're on channel 3. We're going to update those changes. It's good to do this whenever you can with the RJM and Midi files. If you can update it at any point, update it, save it, and that way you can always go back a session if you need to, if you've made a mistake that's hard to undo. Okay, so now we have the Iridium set up to receive Midi on channel 3. The RJM PBC is also set to channel 3 for the Iridium, so now we can test that they are communicating properly. So what we're going to do is we are going to go back to the computer programmer, go to a button. We're going to quickly set up a button to bypass the Iridium. New action at the bottom here, CC toggle for the Iridium. If you have multiple devices, you're going to have to select one. We're going to go to bypass. And you can see the off value is 127, on is 0. We actually want to invert this. If you look at the manual, off is 0, on is 127. The worst that's going to happen here is you're going to get it on when it should be off, off when it should be on. I just updated the settings. And what we can do now is go to this button here, and you can see that it's turning on and off when I hit that button. So now that the pedal is set up and confirmed to be working, we've done that bypass button, we can now move on to creating presets and scrolling through presets on the Iridium. There's a couple ways we can do this. As always, we're going to show you one of the ways today. We're going to go to the Presets tab, and we are going to do something as simple as we possibly can. Preset 1, and you can see the PC message here is set to 0, or the very first preset in the Iridium. Preset 2, we are going to go to PC number 1, which is the second preset. So we're just going to name this the best preset on 1, and the second best preset for number 2, update changes. And what we are going to do now is we're going to turn the pedal on. And you can see here we have the best preset, and then it will scroll up to the second best preset. What you are going to notice though is that the pedal has actually turned off. What we can do in the editor is for the best preset, we can turn it on. The second best preset, we can also turn it on. You don't have to do it this way. This is just what we've done today to show you that there are multiple ways to control different actions. This button in the RJM editor could be anything. It could be controlling the level knob. It could be turning, a certain cab on and off, and you can adjust all these things per preset across Iridium and across your presets in the RJM. The other thing that we really want to do, now that we have our presets down and we have them set here within the PBC and we're scrolling through them, the different sounds on the Iridium, we want to now control Iridium with a little bit more depth, and we're going to do this with an expression pedal. That's conveniently placed there. I am going to grab the guitar for this. Bear with me as I play some country jams for you. Kidding. No country today because I don't know how to play country properly. We're going to go back to the global page and we're going to go to expression pedal, the expression pedal section in the top right of the global page. The first thing we're going to do is just set a default value for the expression. I'm going to turn the amp on. And now I can show you the expression pedal. So we are going to set up the expression by default to be a volume. So we'll just name that here. Already down here we have the Iridium set up for volume on the expression page. We're done. Gonna do that. And let's see if it's working. There we go. So we have the expression set up for the volume pedal. That's working great. But you might not always want to have the Iridium set up for volume. You might want to change it again per preset. So on the first best preset, or the best preset we called it, we are going to leave the expression pedal at its global setting to control volume. On the second best preset, we're going to control the room level. This will sound a little bit like reverb, and so we are going to see if this is going to work within these two devices. So we go first best. You can see in the bottom we're not selecting the expression pedal override. Second best preset, we are selecting, and we are going to leave this at room level, CC number 17. We are going to make the changes, go back to this page here. Let's go to first best. This should act as a volume pedal. Awesome. Now we move over to our second best. We should now override this with a room level, which will sound again like a bit of reverb. There we go. There's our room. Okay, so our expression pedal override is working, but we're only controlling one parameter at a time. That can be a little bit frustrating if you want to control multiple parameters at the same time. Let's say the bass, the mids, and maybe some room size. You want that to sweep across the Iridium as you change your expression pedal. To do this, we are going to create yet another preset. I know, this is crazy. We are going to create a third preset over here on the screen. Preset number 3. We're just going to save that for now. So now on this button here, we should have our third preset. Yep, preset number 3. And now we need to actually program this expression value on the Iridium itself. So we are going to basically say when this preset is active, we want the heel of the expression to control these knobs. Forward on the toe, those knobs will change to that other setting. So we need to do this on the Iridium. Okay, so now we are going to use the expression pedal to control multiple parameters within a preset all over Midi. So the first example was a global expression, always controlling the volume level of the Iridium, or the level knob. The second example was that room level, making it sound like it was changing reverb, and that was an expression pedal override. Now we are going to use expression within the Iridium itself, controlling multiple parameters. First thing we need to do is another override. So we don't want that volume only to happen. We need to tell the Iridium to look for something else. So we're going to name this a multi-expression. I'm just really doing well on the names today, aren't I? And we want the Iridium to act as an expression pedal as if it was plugged right into the Iridium, controlling multiple parameters. So we're going to do CC100, and that is going to treat it like an expression pedal. We're going to go done, upload those changes, and now we're going to go to the Iridium, both foot switches, and we are going to rock this to the heel. And you can see these lights are now reading it. When I go toe, it flashes on, heel, it flashes favorite. So now I'm going to set these knobs we're going to do something drastic. We're going to do bass low, treble at its highest, room at its lowest. Now we're going to go to heel, and you'll see when you make changes that these lights change from green to red. We're going to go bass maximum, treble minimum, room at its biggest. And now what we can do is hit a button and we are saved. So whenever we go to preset number 3 or button 4, we should hear quite a drastic change when we hit this expression pedal. The other thing I need to do, I just realized I need to turn the pedal on. So when we go to preset number 3, we are actually going to have the pedal turned on. So let's see what we have here. We're going to go button 1, this should be volume. And then number 2, this should be room size. Perfect. All right, and now we're going to go over to preset number 3 here. And I can already tell in this preset the drive knob was set quite high by default. So we're just going to bring that back to a more manageable level. And down here, we should hear high treble, low bass. Sounds about right. Then we go up, we should hear lots of bass, no treble. And then there's that room coming back in as well, which I forgot we did. You can hear a lot of room. So that's working. So across these 3 different presets, we have volume, which is global. So any preset you create with that Iridium, the expression by default can work as a volume. You can turn that on and off on any preset or override it. The next one, we did an expression pedal override, and that was for that room level. So bigger room, smaller room with that reverb level. And then that last one, preset number 3, we were controlling multiple parameters across the Iridium. So I hope this opens up the whole world of MIDI on the Iridium. You can do a whole bunch of things with expression, with presets, controlling individual knobs. You can change cabs. You can change anything you want on this thing. It is an incredibly powerful pedal to use with MIDI, and it also can get rid of your volume pedal if you already have an expression on your board, which is pretty handy when you think about the fact that you can add more in the space that that pedal would take up. There's a ton going on here. Post your questions below, and we will do future how-to videos for specific pedals in the weeks to come. We'll see you next week for another video on the Goodwood Audio YouTube channel.